Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivashikam Vitam Scha Om Ajnana Timaranda Shagyanajana Shalakaya Chakshuram Milidam Yana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bhistam Supurakam Gurganara Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindabhidam Ujvalam Varatanam Bhaktyan Vitam Sundaram Mande Vishwagurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Prem Nawe Bija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavaranam Balarka Chelanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Banditam Shubharam Madeka Sharanam Yashishvara Shridharam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavenebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahamananyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami with translation and commentary by Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And this is Antya-lila chapter 13, Pastimes with Jagadananda Pandit and Raghava Bhatta Goswami. So I'll begin with verse number 78. Ekdin Prabhu Yameshwara Tota Jaite Sekali Devadashi Lagila Gaite. One day, when the Lord was going to the temple of Yameshwar, a female singer began to sing in the Jagannath temple. Gujare Ragine Loya Sumadura Sware Gita Govinda Para Gaya Jagamana Hare. She sang a Gujari tune in a very sweet voice, and because the subject was Jayadev Goswami's Gita Govinda, the song attracted the attention of the entire world. Dure Gana Shuni Prabhur Hoila Abesh Stri Purusha Ke Gaya Najane Vishesh. Hearing the song from a distance, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately became ecstatic. He did not know whether it was a man or a woman singing. Tare milibare Prabhu aveshe daila pate sijara bari hoy futiya chalila. As the Lord ran in ecstasy to meet the singer, thorny hedges pricked his body. Ange kanta lagila kichu na janila aste byaste Govinda tara pachete daila. Govinda ran very quickly behind the Lord, who did not feel any pain from the pricking of the thorns. So Mahaprabhu is hearing this woman singing Gita Govinda, and he's running towards her. He's in ecstasy. He doesn't know if it's a man or a woman. He's running over thorns. They're cutting his feet. And Govinda, his servant, is running behind him, trying to catch him. Dana Jajana Prabhu Stri Ache Alpadure Stri Gaya Boli Govinda Prabhure Koila Kole. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was running very rapidly, and the girl was only a short distance away. Just then Govinda caught the Lord in his arms and cried, "It is a woman singing." Stri Nama Shuni Prabhur Maya Hoila Punarapi Se Pate Bahude Chalila. As soon as he heard the word woman, the Lord became externally conscious and turned back. Prabhu Kohe Govindaji Rakila Jivan Stri Parasha Hoile Amara Hoila Maran. My dear Govinda, he said, you have saved my life. If I had touched the body of a woman, I would have certainly have died. Erina Shodite Ami Narimu Tomar Govinda Kohe Jagannatha Rakena Muikonchar I shall never be able to repay my debt to you. Govinda replied, Lord Jagannath has saved you. I am insignificant. So Mahaprabhu is showing the role of a Virakta sannyasi. He's very strict, and these are principles that were followed, especially during the time of Mahaprabhu. Like we heard before, that Mahaprabhu, he would sleep on the ground, and when Jagadananda tried to make him, he got some cloth and dyed it with Goramati, I guess, a stone that turns the cloth saffron, and then he put inside some cotton from a simuli tree, I believe it is, and made like a cushion for Mahaprabhu to sleep on. Mahaprabhu was very angry, and he wouldn't accept it. So Mahaprabhu is following all the principles of sannyas life, especially during that time, very strictly. So he says to Govinda, Govinda replies, Mahaprabhu says, I shall never be able to repay my debt to you. Govinda replied, Lord Jagannath has saved you, I am insignificant. Prabhu kohe Govinda mora sange rohiba, jahantahan mora rakaya sabadana hoiba. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, my dear Govinda, you should stay with me always. There is danger anywhere and everywhere. Therefore, you should protect me very carefully. So, in different pastimes also we see different activities. Like one time, Mahaprabhu was standing by the Garuda stand in the Jagannath temple, and one woman is very eager to see Jagannath, and she climbs up on Mahaprabhu's shoulders. She puts her feet on Mahaprabhu's shoulders so she can see Jagannath. And Govinda tells her, "Get down!" And then Mahaprabhu, he calls Govinda, like he says, he tells him, I wish I had as much eagerness to see Jagannath as this lady does. So Mahaprabhu, now he's running towards the singer who's singing Gita Govinda. So he is in ecstasy, and he would have probably embraced her, but Govinda stopped him. So then he said, you saved my life. But when that woman climbed on Mahaprabhu to see Jagannath, he wasn't so upset. He said, I wish I had her eagerness. Different circumstances and also different consciousness. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, my dear Govinda, you should stay with me always. There is danger anywhere and everywhere, therefore you should protect me very carefully. Itabole Lutte Prabhu Gela Nijastane Shuni Mahabaya Hoila Swarupa Padimane. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned home. When Swarup Damodar and his other attendants heard about the incident, they became very much afraid, because they know Mahaprabhu would have reacted very, very much in devastation if he would have embraced that woman. Eta tapan mishra putra Raghunatha Bhattacharya prabore dekite chalila chari sarvakarya. During this time, Raghunath Bhattacharya, the son of Tapan Mishra, gave up all his duties and left home, intending to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Tapan Mishra, he lives in Varanasi. And it's interesting how he got there. Mahaprabhu was in what is now Bangladesh, and he went there while Mahaprabhu was in Bangladesh. His wife Lakshmi passed away, but he met Tapan Mishra while he was there, and Tapan Mishra, at that time, Mahaprabhu was a grihasta, and he said to Mahaprabhu that he had, there in a dream, a Brahmin told him that Mahaprabhu was there, and he went to meet Mahaprabhu. And then when Tapan Mishra asked Mahaprabhu for instructions and where to live, then Mahaprabhu told him to go to Varanasi, which was unusual because, first of all, there weren't so many Vaishnavas living in Varanasi. It's mostly Mayavadis. And Mahaprabhu was at that time living in Navadip. But he told Tapan Mishra to go to Varanasi. And it was an indication that later on Mahaprabhu would go to Varanasi on his way to Vrindaban. But Tapan Mishra's son is Raghunath Bhattacharya. Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Das Goswami and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Raghunath Bhattacharya, the son of Tapan Mishra, and was living in Varanasi also. During this time, Raghunath Bhattacharya, the son of Tapan Mishra, gave up all his duties and left home, intending to meet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ita Tapana Mishra Putra Raghunath Bhattacharya Prabhure Dekite Chalila Chari Sarvakarya Kashi Hoite Chalila Teho Goda Pattadiya Sange Sevak Chale Tara Jali Bahiya. Accompanied by a servant carrying his baggage, Raghunath Bhatta started from Varanasi and traveled along the path leading through Bengal. Patitare Milila Vishwas Ramadas Vishwas Kanara Kayasta Teho Rajara Vishwas. In Bengal he met Ramadas Vishwas, who belonged to the Kayasta caste. He was one of the king's secretaries. So, here are we. The word Vishwas, Kannada, Kayasta indicate a secretary or clerk belonging to the Kayasta caste. Kayastas were usually secretaries to kings, governors, or other important persons. It is said that anyone working in the government secretariat at that time was a Kayasta. Sarvashastre Pravina Kavya Prakasha Adhyapak Parama Vaishnava Raghunatha Upasak. Ramadas Vishwas was very learned in all the revealed scriptures. He was a teacher of the famous book Kavya Prakash and was known as an advanced devotee and worshipper of Raghunath, Lord Ramachandra. Commenting on the word Parama Vaishnava, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that anyone who desires to merge into the existence of the Lord cannot be a pure Vaishnava. But because Ramadas Vishwas was a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra, he was almost a Vaishnava. In those days, no one could distinguish between a pure Vaishnava and a pseudo-Vaishnava. Therefore, Ramadas Vishwas was known as a Vaishnava because he worshipped Lord Ramachandra. But the indication here is he's not a Vaishnava in the sense that he's in his heart. He is more believing in the Nirvishesh Brahman. So he's a Mayavadi. But he's by the people he's called a Vaishnava. Because he worships Lord Ramachandra. Astaprahara Ramanam Japena Ratridine Sarvatyaji Chalila Jagannatha Darshane. Ramadas had renounced everything and was going to see Lord Jagannath. While traveling, he chanted the holy name of Lord Rama 24 hours a day. Raghunatha Bhattara Shane Patita Milila Bhattara Jale Pat Mate Kore Mahia Chalila. When he met Raghunath Bhatta on the way, he took Raghunath's baggage on his head and carried it. It's getting some feedback. Yeah. Por ese el parlante allí arriba. Okay. No, arriba. Allí. No sé si puedes. I got this one. There's a knob on, I think on the left or right, I don't know. Left. Yeah, you have to turn it down just a little bit. Jai. Okay. Ashtaprahara Ramanam Japana Ratridine Sarvatyaji Chalila Jagannath Darshane. Ramadas had renounced everything and was going to see Lord Jagannath. While traveling, he chanted the holy name of Lord Rama 24 hours a day. Raghunath Bhattara Shane Patita Milila Bhattara Jale Mate Kore Mahia Chalila. When he met Raghunath Bhatta on the way, he took Raghunath's baggage on his head and carried it. Nana Seva Kore Kore Parasambhahan Tate Raghunathera Hoy Sankuchitaman. Ramadas served Raghunath Bhatta in various ways, even massaging his legs. Raghunath Bhatta felt some hesitation in accepting all this service. Tumi Bora Loka Pandit Mahabhagavate Sevana Koriya Suke Chala Morasate. You are a respectable gentleman, a learned scholar and a great devotee, Raghunath Bhatta said. Please do not try to serve me. Just come with me in a happy mood. Ramadas Kohe Ami Shudra Adama Brahmanera Seva E Mora Nija Dharma. Ramadas replied, I am a Shudra, a fallen soul. To serve a Brahman is my duty and religious principle. So this is actually, he's a Kayasta, but in those days almost anybody who wasn't like a Brahmin or a Kshatriya was considered to be, in the society, was considered a Shudra. So he says, oh, I'm a Shudra and you're a Brahmin, so I should serve you. Ramadas is saying that to Raghunath Bhatta. But Raghunath Bhatta doesn't want to take any service from anyone. So Ramadas says, Ramadas then tells Raghunath Bhatta, I am a Shudra, fallen soul. To serve a Brahmin is my duty and religious principle. Sankochana Karatumi Amit Tomardash Tomara Seva Korile Hoy Ridoye Ulas. Therefore, please do not be hesitant. I am your servant, and when I serve you, my heart becomes jubilant. Etaboli Jale Bahen Korana Sevane Raghunathera Taraka Mantra Japena Ratridine. Thus, Ramadas carried the baggage of Raghunath Bhattacharya and served him sincerely. He constantly chanted the holy name of Lord Ramachandra day and night. So, he's serving sincerely. In Bengali, there's a saying, it says, too much devotion is a sign of a thief. So, but I'm not saying Ramadas is a thief. He's not a thief, but sometimes when somebody wants to serve somebody, that, waiting on them hand and foot, it becomes a little too much. anyway. Emate Raghunatha Aila Nilachale Prabhura Charane Jana Milila Kutu Hale. Traveling in this way, Raghunath Bhatta soon arrived at Jagannath Puri. There he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with great delight and fell at his lotus feet. Danda Paranama Kori Bhatta Padila Charane Prabhu Raghunatha Jane Koila Alingane. Raghunath Bhatta fell straight as a rod at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then the Lord embraced him, knowing well who he was. So, Raghunath Bhattacharya, son of Tapan Mishra. Then he's offering Dandavat pranams to Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu embraces him. Mishra Ara Shekare Dandavat Chanaila Mahaprabhu Tasabar Bharta Puchila. Raghunath offered respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on behalf of Tapan Mishra and Chandrasekhar, and the Lord also inquired about them. Balo hoila na aila deka kamala lochan ajyamara eta koriba prasad bojan. It is very good that you have come here, the Lord said. Now go see the lotus-eyed Lord Jagannath. Today you will accept prasadam here at my place. Govindere kohe ek vasa deo jaila Swarupade Bhaktagana Sane Milaila. The Lord asked Govinda to arrange for Raghunath Bhatta's accommodations, and then introduced him to all the devotees headed by Swarup Damodar. Emata Prabhu Sange Rohila Ashtamas Dine Dine Prabhur Kripai Badaye Ulas. Thus Raghunath Bhatta lived with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continuously for 8 months, and by the Lord's mercy, he felt increasing happiness every day. Madhye Madhye Mahaprabhu Korana Nimantran Garabata Koran Ara Bibida Byanjan. He would periodically cook rice with various vegetables and invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home. Raghunath Bhatta Pake Atishun Shunipun Jayrande Sehoy Amriterasam. Raghunath Bhatta was an expert cook. Whatever he prepared tasted just like nectar. Parama Santoshe Prabhu Korana Bojan Prabhura Avashishta Patra Bhattara Bakan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would accept with great satisfaction all the food he prepared. After the Lord was satisfied, Raghunath Bhatta would eat his remnants. Ramadas Jari Pratama Prabhure Milila Mahaprabhu Adhika Tare Kripana Korila. When Ramadas Vishwas met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord did not show him any special mercy, although this was their first meeting. So the Lord was cordial, he was courteous to Ramadas Vishwas, but he didn't show him any special attention. Just welcomed him, but no special mercy. Antare mumuko teho vidya garbaban sarva chitta kyata prabhu sarvagya bhagavan. Within his heart, Ramadas Vishwas was an impersonalist who desired to merge into the existence of the Lord, and he was very proud of his learning, since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the omniscient Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can understand the heart of anyone, and thus he knew all these things. So he knew, although Ramadas was considered externally and seen by people as a great devotee of Lord Ramachandra, Mahaprabhu knew that in his heart he was an impersonalist, so he didn't show him very much special attention. Ramadas Vishwas, Ramadas Koilatabe, Nilachalebas, Patanayaka Goshtike Padai, Kavya Prakash. Ramadas Vishwas then took up residence in Jagannath Puri and taught the Kavya Prakash to the Patanayaka family, the descendants of Bhavananda Roy. So Gopinath Patanayaka, there's 5 sons of Bhavananda Roy. One of them is and let's see, what is it? Ramananda Roy, Vaninath, Gopinath Patanayaka. I don't know the other 2, but they're sons of Bhavananda Roy. And so somehow or other, this Ramadas Vishwas, okay, he knows something, and he's teaching the Kavya Prakash to the Patanayaka family. Ashtamasha Masha Rohi Prabhu Bate Vidaidila Vivahana Koriya Bole Nisheda Korila. After 8 months, when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bade farewell to Raghunath Bhatta, the Lord flatly forbade him to marry. Do not marry, the Lord said. Raghunath Bhattacharya had become a greatly advanced devotee while still unmarried. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could see this, and therefore he advised him not to begin the process of material sense gratification. Marriage is a concession for people who are unable to control their senses. Well, Prabhupada's comments are a little, they're very little direct. Marriage is a concession for people who are unable to control their senses. Raghunath, however, being an advanced devotee of Krishna, naturally had no desire for sense gratification. Therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised him not to enter the bondage of marriage. Generally, a person cannot make much advancement in spiritual consciousness if he is married. He becomes attached to his family and is prone to sense gratification. Thus, his spiritual advancement is very slow or almost nil. So, Prabhupada's comments, they're directed, to this. When I joined, this was, Prabhupada came to America in 1965, so when I joined was before 1970. And in those days, the brahmacharis and grihastas, they lived in the same, maybe they lived in the same places, and the brahmacharis wore saffron, the grihastas wore white, but everybody had shaved head and sika, so that was the preaching of Prabhupada was very strong. But to me, when I knew Prabhupada, it seemed very strong. But if you knew Prabhupada, he wasn't like that severe. It actually was very, very kind and merciful. But externally, he may have said something. Like one time he was in an interview, and there was some in the West, and there was some woman. She was wearing a mini skirt. She was a reporter. So she said to Prabhupada, why do your devotees shave their head? And he said, well, we think it is better cool head and warm legs than warm head and cold legs. He said that to the woman with the mini skirt. And then in one reporters, one person on a television interview said, you know, in your books you speak of dogs, hogs, camels, and asses, of the general society and like that. And then he says, what if somebody doesn't take, something like he said, what if somebody doesn't take to Krishna consciousness? And then Prabhupada says something like, then again he becomes a dog. And the man quickly interviewed ended the interview, and then devotees were hustled out of the studio, and then they were in the car, and they're sitting in the car with Prabhupada, and nobody said anything. And then Prabhupada smiled very broadly, and he said, so how did you like my answer? So he would, you know, but then you had to know really, and Prabhupada's mood was of great humility. One time there was a man with sannyas clothes with long, kind of oily hair, and Prabhupada told me, give a garland to him, and I gave a garland to the man, and Prabhupada said to me, you gave a garland, this one I'm brahmachari. Prabhupada said, you gave a garland to this sannyasi, but you did not offer dandavat, so therefore you should fast today. And then I said to him, I said to Prabhupada, I said, I didn't know he was a sannyasi. He's wearing orange, but he has long hair and everything, so I didn't know he was a sannyasi. And then Prabhupada said, oh, you didn't know he was a sannyasi? Then you don't have to fast. And he said all that in front of the man. So there was also a lot of humor in Prabhupada's remarks here, you know, about Raghunath Bhattacharya, and the essence is that when he met Mahaprabhu, told him, go home and serve your father and mother. They're now old, you serve them. Then when they pass away, you come back and see me, but don't marry. Because Mahaprabhu, you know, he's Raghunath Bhattacharya. He's one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindaban. Mahaprabhu can see all that. Vridamata, Pita, Rajai, Koraha, Sevan, Vaishnava, Pasha, Bhagavata, Kora, Adyayan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Raghunath Bhatta, when you return home, serve your aged father and mother, who are devotees, and try to study Srimad Bhagavatam from a pure Vaishnava who has realized God. Punarapi ekbar ashya nilachale etabole kantamala dila taragale. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu concluded, come again to Nilachala, Jagannath Puri. After saying this, the Lord put his own neck beads on Raghunath Bhatta's neck. Alingana kore Prabhu vidai taridila preme gara Bhatta kandite lagila. Then the Lord embraced him and bade him farewell. Overwhelmed with ecstatic love, Raghunath Bhatta began to cry due to imminent separation from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Swarupade Bhaktatai Agyamagiya Varanasi Aila Bhatta Prabhur Agyapaya. After taking permission from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the devotees headed by Swarup Damodar, Raghunath Bhatta returned to Varanasi. Charibatsara Gare Pita Matara Seva Koila Vaishnava Pandita Tai Bhagavata Parila. In accordance with all the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he continuously rendered service to his mother and father for 4 years. He also regularly studied Srimad Bhagavatam from a self-realized Vaishnava. Pita Mata Kashi Paile Udasina Haya Puna Prabhur Tai Aila Grihadi Chadiya. Then his parents died at Kashi, Varanasi, and he became detached. He therefore returned to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, giving up all relationships with his home. Purvavat Ashtamas Prabhu Pashachila Ashtamas Rohi Puna Prabhu Agyadila. As previously, Raghunath remained continuously with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 8 months. Then the Lord gave him the following order. Amara Agyaya Raghunath Jaha Vrindavane Tahan Jana Raha Rupa Sanatana Stane. My dear Raghunath, on my order, go to Vrindaban and live there under the care of Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis. Bhagavat Parasara Loha Krishna Nam Achire Koribena Kripa Krishna Bhagavan. In Vrindaban you should chant the Hare Krishna mantra 24 hours a day and read Srimad Bhagavatam continuously. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will very soon bestow his mercy upon you. Etabole Prabhutare Alingana Koila Prabhur Kripate Krishna Preme Mata Hoila. After saying this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced Raghunath Bhatta, and by the Lord's mercy, Raghunath was enlivened with ecstatic love for Krishna. Chodahata Jagannath there, Tulasi Ramala, Chuta Pana Bida Mahotsabe Payachila. At a festival, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been given some unspiced betel and a garland of tulasi leaves 14 cubits long. The garland had been worn by Lord Jagannath. So, how long is a cubit? A cubit is like from the elbow to what? To the tip of the finger, I guess. Anyway, this garland is very long. That was on Lord Jagannath, 14 cubits long. Semala Chutapaya Prabhutari Dila Ishtadeva Kori Mala Darya Rohila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the garland and betel to Raghunath Bhatta, who accepted them as a worshipful deity and preserved them very carefully. Prabhurtai Agyaloya Gela Vrindavane Ashraya Korila Ashi Rupa Sanatane. Taking permission from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Raghunath Bhatta then departed for Vrindaban. When he arrived there, he put himself under the care of Rupa and Sanatan Goswamis. Rupa Goswami Sabai Korana Bhagavata Patan Bhagavat Padite Preme Olaya Taranam. Rupa Goswami Sabai Korana Bhagavata Patan Bhagavata Padite Preme Olaya Taraman. When reciting Srimad Bhagavatam in the company of Rupa and Sanatan, Raghunath Bhatta would be overwhelmed with ecstatic love for Krishna. Ashru Kampa Gadgara Prabhur Kripate Netra Kanta Rode Bashpa Napare Podite. By the mercy of Mahaprabhu, he experienced the symptoms of ecstatic love, tears, trembling, and faltering of the voice. His eyes filled with tears and his throat became choked, and thus he could not recite Srimad Bhagavatam. Pika Swara Kantatate Ragara Vaibhag E Shloka Parite Virai Tina Chare Rag. His voice was as sweet as a cuckoo's. Let's see. Pika Swarakanta. His voice was as sweet as a cuckoo's, and he would recite each verse of Srimad Bhagavatam in 3 or 4 tunes. Thus, his recitations were very sweet to hear. Krishnara Sondarya Madhurya Jabe Pare Shune Premete Vivala Tabe Kichuna Jane. So his singing of the Srimad Bhagavatam very beautiful, and he would sing the verses, and he would sing the verses 3 or 4 different times, and well, he would sing it. Pardon me. It says he would sing the Srimad Bhagavatam, and he would sing every verse, but in 3 or 4 different tunes. Doesn't say 3 or 4 different times, but he could sing very beautifully. Thus, his recitations were very sweet to hear. Krishnara Sundar, it said he cooked very beautifully, very nicely. He sang very sweetly. Krishnara Sundarya Madhurya Jabe Padeshune Premete Vivala Tabe Kichui Najane. When he recited or heard about the beauty and sweetness of Krishna, he would be overwhelmed with ecstatic love and become oblivious to everything. Govinda Charane Koila Atma Samarpan Govinda Charanaravinda Jara Pranadan. Thus Raghunath Bhatta surrendered fully at the lotus feet of Lord Govinda, and those lotus feet became his life and soul. Nija Sishye Kohe Govindera Mandira Koraila Vamshi Makara Kundalare Bhushana Koredila. Subsequently, Raghunath Bhatta ordered his disciples to construct a temple for Govinda. He prepared various ornaments for Govinda, including a flute and shark-shaped earrings. So, this, I don't know, but I'm assuming when it says here, the temple of Govinda, he's talking about the temple of Srila Rupa Goswami. That Rupa Goswami's deity is Govinda, Radha Govinda. Gramya Varta na shune na kohe jivai Krishna kata pujadite ashta praharjai. That deity was later moved to Jaipur. It was Raghunath Bhatta would neither hear nor speak about anything of the material world. He would simply discuss Krishna and worship the Lord day and night. Vaishnavera Nindya Karma Nahi Pare Kane Sabe Krishna Bhajana Kore E Matra Jane. He would not listen to blasphemy of a Vaishnav, nor would he listen to talk of a Vaishnav's misbehavior. He knew only that everyone was engaged in Krishna's service. He did not understand anything else. No. So there are different levels of Vaishnava. There's Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and then there's Uttama Adhikari. So you can understand that Raghunath Bhattacharya, he's a Parama Vaishnava. He's a Uttamadhikari. He won't hear any criticisms of any Vaishnava, and in fact, he sees everyone as being engaged in the Lord's service. That's the characteristics of the highest Vaishnava. Mahaprabhu Dattamala Mana Nerakole Prashada Kadara Saha Bandi Lena Gale, when Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was absorbed in remembrance of Lord Krishna, he would take the Tulasi garland and the prasadam of Lord Jagannath given to him by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, bind them together and wear them on his neck. Mahaprabhu Kripai Krishna Prema Anargal Eta Kohilun Tate Chaitanya Kripaval. Thus I have described the powerful mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by which Raghunath Bhatta Goswami remained constantly absorbed with ecstatic love for Krishna. Jaganananda Kohilun Vrindavana Gaman Taramadya Devadasir Gana Shravana Mahaprabhu Raghunatha Kripa Prema Fal Ek Parichede Tin Akata Kohilun Sakal. In this chapter I have spoken about three topics: Jagadananda Pandit's visit to Vrindaban, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was listening to the song of the Devadasi at the temple of Jagannath, and how Raghunath Bhatta Goswami achieved ecstatic love of Krishna by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So yesterday we heard about Jagadananda Pandit, and this is and also chapter 12 was also about Jagadananda Pandit. So in this chapter I have spoken about three topics: Jagadananda Pandit's visit to Vrindaban, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was listening to the song of the Devadasi at the temple of Jagannath, and how Raghunath Bhatta Goswami achieved ecstatic love of Krishna by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jai Sakalak Kata Shune Shradakori Tare Krishna Premadan Dena Gorahari. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gorahari, bestows ecstatic love for Krishna upon anyone who hears all these topics with faith and love. Shri Rupa Raghunath Parijaras Chaitanya Charitamrita Kohe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita following in their footsteps. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya-lila, 13th chapter, describing Jagadananda Pandit's visit to Vrindaban, the Lord's hearing the song of the Devadasi, and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami's achieving love of Krishna. So we'll stop here and sing Hari Harai. Y pronto tu vas al aeropuerto, no? Maybe you can take some anukalpa before you go. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Madhavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Jagadananda Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jagadananda Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Sri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghuna Jai Gosai Kori Jana Bandhan Jai Gosai Kori Jana Bandhan Jao Hoite Vignana Shabishta Puran Jao Hoite Vignana Shabishta Puran Jai Gosai Jar Mui Taradan Jai Gosai Jar Mui Taradan Dasabar Pada Renu Mora Panchagram Dasabar Pada Renu Mora Panchagram Tade Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanivas Tade Charana Sevi Sanivas Janame Janame More Abhilas Janame Janame More Abhilas Jai Gosai Jabe Bhaje Koilaban Jai Gosai Jabe Bhaje Koilaban Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindaban Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindaban Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Majai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyan Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyan Hare Nam Sankirtana Kohe Nara Damodar Nam Sankirtana Kohe Nara Damodar Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyan Hare Nam Sankirtana Kohe Nara Damodar Nam Sankirtana Kohe Nara Damodar Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Jai Saparikara Shishi Guru Guranga Gandharvika Giridhari Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Bhakti Tilak Nehru Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramansa Paravajakacharya Ashtatara Sadashi Shimad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Bharga ki Jai. Namachari Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Premsigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Vishvabharanya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Kushamashram Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Avadut Maharaj ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Navadip Dham ki Jai. Shri Mayapur ki Jai. Saparshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Saparshada Shriman Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Shri Koladvip ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki Jai. Sokel Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Sevashram ki Jai. Ganga Devi ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani ki Jai. Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Shri Vrindaban ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Govardhan Sham Kun Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.